1 Samuel chapter 1, verses 20 to 22 and 24 to 28. For nothing will be impossible for God. She, Hannah, conceived, and at the end of her pregnancy bore a son, whom she named Samuel, because I asked the Lord for him. The next time her husband Eliakim was going up with the rest of his household to offer the customary sacrifice to the Lord and to fulfill his vows, Hannah did not go, explaining to her husband, "Once the child is weaned, I will take him to appear before the Lord and leave him there forever." Once he was weaned, she brought him up with her along with a 3-year-old bull and an ephah of flour and a skin of wine, and presented him at the house of the Lord in Shiloh. After they had slaughtered the bull, they brought the child to Eli. Then Hannah spoke up, "Excuse me, my lord, as you live, my lord. I am the woman who stood here near you praying to the Lord. I prayed for this child, and the Lord granted my request. Now I, in turn, give him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he shall be dedicated to the Lord." Then they worshiped there before the Lord. We know Hannah for her sorrow. She longed for a son, but didn't appear able to have children. We also know her for her faith in God. She never gave up hope that God would hear her humble prayer for a son. We also know her for her sacrifice. She dedicated her baby Samuel to the Lord and left him at the temple to serve God. 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 11. Hannah made this vow, "O Lord of hosts, if you look with pity on the hardship of your servant, if you remember me and do not forget me, if you give your handmaid a male child, I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life. No razor shall ever touch his head." For years, Peninnah, Eliakim's other wife, ridiculed Hannah for her inability to have children. Instead of arguing with Peninnah, she kept quiet for the benefit of the family. God had granted her the grace to know the right things to say and when to say them or when to remain silent. God had not only granted her prayer to have a son, but 5 other children as well. Hannah was now a member of a select group of biblical women who were thought to be barren, but who later gave birth to a child of great fame. Sarah laughed at the angel's proclamation that God would give her a child named Isaac. Rebekah questioned her ability to give birth, but then had twins, Jacob and Esau. Rachel's son Joseph was destined to be the leader of Israel's 12 tribes. But Hannah trusted God, and that trust was richly rewarded. Matthew 19:26, Jesus looked at them and said, "For human beings this is impossible, but for God all things are possible."